is there any way you could pick me up at the hostel?
He needs a ride.
Pick you up.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
No, I can walk
Yeah.
if that's too much.
You could fix him, Livy. You could fix him.
Yeah.
I'll,
Hello, and welcome, friends. I am your keeper of arcane lore, Grinning Moon, and with me is our amazing cast of individuals. We are back today with our 6th chapter of Occult Origins, Choices. Last time, the group met in a speakeasy just as it was raided. Fleeing through the sewers and city streets, they eliminated their pursuers and took one of them for questioning. After a tense scene in a nearby mob hangout, the group went to meet with George's eclectic employer. And after meeting of minds with Billy was pulled aside and told a terrible truth. As we start today, I want to take a moment to kind of address a few things. Most of you may have already noticed that one of we're a cast member short today, unfortunately due to scheduling conflict, and Megalox will be no longer joining us for Occult Origins. His contributions and his character and Daewoo will be appreciated, and we'll kind of continue on with his story, but we'll be doing so without his presence, and we will miss him. So as I kind of with that addressed, we are kind of a small cast of individuals. We all kind of make contributions to produce the show, and we're kind of doing that together. So if there's any way you'd like to support, there's a couple free ways to do so. Just watching live and being here in chat and stuff, hanging out, goes a long way. It makes us just worth doing on its own. If you want to go the extra mile and check out our YouTube or share any of those videos to friends or any people who are just into weird stuff and good stories, feel free. We also have a tweet that we do when we go live. If you want to retweet that, feel free. And then we also have, as you kind of gain more points, we have the Hand of Fate redeem, which you can redeem to lend aid or cause chaos for any character of your choice. We actually have a couple of the dice on screen already. Of course, if you want to go with bits or subs or donos, those are all welcome, but they're never necessary. But yeah, let's go around to everybody. Tell us who you are, what you're up to, and yeah, we'll start with Squingleberg.
Boy, hello my friends. My name is Squingleberg. I stream on Twitch, I play Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm just an all-around cool guy extraordinaire. Thanks for being here. I stream Tuesdays and Thursday afternoons, and I'm playing Billy Graves. He is a big game hunter from the outskirts of society, and while he's said it before, this time it's even more true. I've seen some things.
Alright, and then let's move over to Melly.
yes, I am Melly de Marsen. I am playing as Livy Domingue, and she is just really new to all of this, as am I. As y'all know, this is my first experience with anything like this on this platform, and it's just been a phenomenal experience so far. So I'm looking forward to it. Livy is also looking forward to it. She found out that Georgia is amazing, and she now wants to know everything that Georgia knows. She needs to know. She needs to know more.
Alright, moving over to Fickle.
Yeah, hey, that's me. I'm the Fickle Ficus, or you can call me Brian. I stream on Twitch as well. I voice act. I got a couple hobbies. I also enjoy Dungeons and Dragons and TTRPGs in general. But if you want to come talk about games, you can find me here on Twitch as well. That's all I have to say. I play Rory Shack. I'm a New York native. Work for the mob. Sort of a big beef. My literal type in the game is beefcake.
Yes.
So
It's official.
beefcake. Yeah.
Like officially.
I'm everything that I'm not in life, and I that's why I'm doing role play games.
It's
I
great.
feel that.
Right.
All right, moving over to Garbot.
Hi, I'm Garbite Games. Some of you call me Garbo. I also play variety games. I also TTRPGs. I run my own games. I am playing Georgia Schultz, who is finally in the position to be able to actually communicate with these people that she's been working with. There's been a lot of secrets that had to be kept, and now, fortunately, we can kind of squeak the door open, as it were.
Beautiful. So yeah, with all that kind of taken care of, it's kind of time to set the stage. Let me start my coveted and patented, totally borrowed from the internet music. It nears midnight on the 30th of August, 1920. We kind of come in on the scene as a crow soars high in the night sky above Brooklyn. It flutters down, gliding, eventually fluttering and perching on a power line just outside a derelict warehouse on the docks. In the warehouse, a black man in a captain's cap keeps lookout on the catwalks as incandescent light seeps out from the train's passenger cars. Inside the lab car, a heavy metal door slides open, and two older men step through the threshold. As Billy exits the lab car, his heart pounds as his mind races as moments flash in his synapse. Arthur's visible confusion as he sets the ring in between them. We are no longer kin. In his mind, he hears Rupert, "You are the reason we were able to accomplish this." He flashes again. Billy threatens Arthur. Arthur stammers, I don't know what you think, but we're not evil." "You showed us the way, my friend." Flashing again, Billy bellows at Arthur. "Whatever Milton did 100 years ago was no good." And he turns away, leaving Arthur in bewilderment, with the car still running. "If you could have kept the ring, it could have all ended with you." An old man lies in the bed, machines pumping artificial life into him. These images flash through as his head begins to kind of like slow its spinning and replace itself with a dull vertigo as they both wander and enter the center car. "Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't burden you with so much so quickly, Mr. Graves."
I don't know what the hell I've just seen. You really think that we're gonna run into some of these things out there?
I wouldn't assure you if wasn't almost guarantee. Unfortunately, I'm only able to show you the tip of the iceberg here.
Do you know how those things, how did they, how did they die? They
As
were
you kind of-
slashes on him.
As you kind of look back at Rupert, instead of an old man with a tin mask, you instead see Robert's face, your son's face, as Rupert's voice continues through it. Well, in a number of ways, the Deep One seemed to be killed with small arms and rifle fire, as well as odd as it is to say, a sword, a cavalry blade, I believe.
Like rubbing my eyes and kind of looking back, like, no.
Your son continues to speak with Robert's voice. With Rupert's voice.
I'll kind of mutter underneath my breath, like, yeah, no, you're not him.
I apologize for my hastiness in this, but if it isn't like you say and Weatherwood is closing in, I fear patience is a commodity we cannot afford.
Sorry, I must be just a little shaken up. I don't think I feel so great.
Yes, understandable.
So we should probably leave at daybreak then. Ugh.
Oh, we will leave before then, I assure you, but you have nothing to worry about, please. He kind of gestures to the cabin. He's like, please rest while you can. We can speak more of this in the morning en route.
Billy's like looking at him just like he's seeing a ghost and is like, I better do that. It's not him. And as he kind of mutters to himself as he goes toward the cabin, it's not him. It's not him.
Please take care of yourself, Mr. Graves.
Yeah, sure. And he like closes the door as quick as he can, trying to get him away.
Okay. As you kind of head to your cabin, open the door, you hear him kind of turn on heel and head out out of the train. And just as you kind of close the door behind,
look back one last time to see, like, does he still look like my son?
He's already kind of like headed to the back, and so all you see is the back of his head.
Okay. Close the door while I kind of peek through, you know.
As you kind of peek through, you hear him exclaim, "Captain Wright, it's time." And the door clicks closed. As you turn around, you find the small cot, writing desk, and a slide door that's closed that leads to a personal bathroom in this cabin. As you kind of drop off your things, and how do you decide to retire for the evening? You just collapse? What does Billy do?
No, he's gonna like he's very unsettled by that. He's gonna be like talking to himself, like, you know, that couldn't have been that you know it's not him. Your eyes are playing tricks on you, old Billy. Get it together, Billy. Get it together. He's gonna sit down. Alright. And he's gonna take out like he's got a little journal and kind of thumbs through it, and as he's thumbing through it, you know, you kind of see newspaper clippings, you know, kind of pictures, and he's gonna write a quick journal entry in there. Should I like go into what it says, or
you can give me a quick kind of just script, or we can kind of leave it for a little later. As you kind of scribble this down, you feel that you're kind of, there's like a cold sweat about you, and you just feel a little hot. So
maybe we'll post it to your Discord. It'll be like a special Discord members treat only.
There
Discord exclusive. Billy's journals.
I like it. Behind the scenes stuff. So as you kind of get through your journal entry, you look at the bed, and it's like clean linens and stuff. You still have your glasses on. You still have the grime from the day.
Is there like I kind of think back to like what everyone kind of said before about like where we're going and how he's dressed a little bit. Is there like there's a washroom you said?
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
there's a small slider door kind of on the opposite side of the room that you can.
He'll go and slide the door open and he'll take a shower.
Okay. As you slide the door open, kind of remove your glasses and kind of take a shower. As you kind of come out feeling a little bit more refreshed. Brain still feels like molasses, but at least you have that fresh, clean feeling. And as you kind of move to kind of turn on the faucet and like, or actually just move to the sink, you wipe the mirror and blurrily kind of look at it, putting on your glasses. Your reflection gazes back at you, beard dripping with water, and you kind of breathe a sigh of relief for a moment. As you breathe the sigh of relief, the reflection does not share your emotions, and its eyes darken.
Getting old, Billy. Myself a little bit.
As you kind of do this in the mirror, the reflection stays completely still and it's static in its expression as it only glowers back at you.
There be like I don't know, do I have access to like some clippers?
Yeah. There's as you kind of like look around, you open up one of the medicine cabinets and there is a pair of scissors and a straight razor.
Billy's gonna like, oh friend, you're about as full as the day you were born. As he kind of strokes his face and beard, and he's gonna like, time to take you in a little bit. Don't worry, you'll be back. You'll be back now. Hush, hush. And he'll trim down his beard, not completely off, but
right. As you kind of
short.
As you kind of begin to cut away hair and the mirror kind of fogs up as you kind of wash hair down the sink like a terrible guest. And
Yeah, he's leaving it everywhere. You know, like
Yeah.
when it's like
it's just everywhere. You didn't even lay down a towel.
No.
And as you kind of work through, the mirror fogs back up, and after you're done, you kind of wipe the mirror to get one final look. And as you kind of do this, your self just looks right back in your eyes, and you see it muttering something. As you kind of check out your new beard, and you kind of stop for a moment. As you kind of attempt to read the lips, it's just... You watch the lips move over and over and over, and you kind of follow it. Your fault. Your fault. And you find yourself saying it.
Your fault. Your fault. Your fault. It was your fault. Your fault. Your fault. Your fault.
And as you kind of like, we kind of pan out of the bathroom, all white hair all around the floor, and him just muttering, your fault. We'll cut away and go to another cabin. A softly snoring Rory sits in a chair leaned back against the wall of the cabin. His feet rest on his friend's bed frame. Morgan's eyes kind of flutter open as he kind of takes his first looks about the cabin and quickly clutches his knapsack to his chest. He sits up slowly and surveys his surroundings before shimmying out of the cot. Winces in pain from his injury, and he falters a bit before kind of his feet land on the floor. He checks his knapsack and his personal effects before breathing a sigh of relief. He taps Rory on the leg. "Wake up, Rory." As you come
What's going
to,
on?
you blink blurrily for a moment. Morgan comes into focus. "Wake up, my friend. We need to go."
Yeah, we're leaving for Rockport here in about a couple of hours, so get some rest.
What did they say to you while I was out? That the white women will bewitch you?
Well, we're trying not to get bewitched. That's the end goal, I think. Yeah, we talked to George's employer. Got a better idea of sort of the system she's working for.
Is this the car? Is this his train?
I think so, yeah.
Ah, another rich white man. I do not trust them.
Yeah, well, it's their world, so.
Look, I am just saying, I was hiding perfectly fine till she came along. How do we know she isn't working for these men that hunt us?
Well, there were men hunting us tonight, and they took us in. I didn't get hunted by these guys. They saved our lives last night, so, you know, trust is sort of chosen. I'm choosing to trust them for now.
I do not like it. Come with me, Rory. We can do better on our own. We can get out of this before it gets too deep. I see a storm coming, my friend.
I hear what you're saying, but I think we're already in the storm. There's not really any going back. You can try if you want, but I already walked out of the cave, as they say.
You are talking nonsense, my friend. Are you sure they did not bewitch you? Possibly a charm. Maybe
No, I'm
even
not
just
sure.
seduction. Maybe you are falling for this woman.
Morgan, I'm not leaving. If you're trying to sneak out in the middle of the night here, then I'm not going to stop you, but just be careful because they were gunning for you tonight. Your speakeasy, gunning for you the other night when I found you on the street. If you're going to go, better take care.
Roy, my friend. We go way back. This was supposed to be an easy-paying job, but things have gotten out of hand. Since joining this group, I have been strangled, beaten, hunted, forced into hiding, and shot, and I have nothing to show for it. I am done being a rich white man's pawn. If we must go our separate ways, I wish you the best, and I will see you on the other side of all this.
Hope so.
He kind of grimaces a little bit, and he puts the bag down for a second, opens it up. They are after this. He pulls out the ruby dagger. Well, the ruby hilted dagger with the triangular blade. And kind of. It is part of their statue. I think they need it for their ritual. I figured I'd have an ace in the hole if I took it. I can keep it and throw them off your trail. At the very least, it will delay what they are trying to do.
If you're going to keep the dagger, you should stay with us. I can't protect you. Nobody can protect you if you have that dagger and you go out on your own. We've learned these people have... Look, you don't have to believe me, but I'm pretty sure they can see you. Alright? Even when you don't think they can. If you have that dagger and you're going out there and alone, you got a target on your back, Morgan.
You have a good point, my friend. I cannot say that I am happy to let it go, as you are seeming to head into the belly of the beast. What is to say that you will not be hunted down as well?
Oh, I think I will be. I think we all will be. But that's what we're signing up for. If you're not signing up for that, then leave it all behind. Don't just leave some of it behind.
Fair enough, Roy. You make a good point. I always knew you had a good head on your shoulders.
I mean, Morgan, to be honest with you, I could give a shit if you take the dagger or not. But, for your sake, I'm saying, you're putting yourself in more danger. You saw what happened. It's gonna keep happening.
As long as I see them coming, they cannot stop me.
Morgan, if it hadn't been for me 2 nights ago, you'd have been dead. Okay?
Look, I can handle myself. I am a man of war. I am a professional. But you do have a point. I will... He kind of lets the dagger roll onto the floor.
You want me to take that, or...?
You keep it. Do it whether you want. Throw it into the ocean for all I care. I am done. As long as they don't as long as they don't hunt you down successfully, I will see you on the other side of all of this, my friend. But my time is now. This is my exit.
Alright, bud. I wish I could go back too, to be honest with you. I wish I could unsee the things I've seen, but I can't. If you can walk away, shut that part of you off, fucking more power to you, my friend. Because, would that I could. Would that I could. You know?
You always have a choice, Rory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Goodbye, my friend.
Yeah. I know I got a choice. This is my choice. Goodbye.
He nods at you one last time, shoulders his knapsack, and slides the door open, exits, and closes it. And he's gone. Outside, you hear a cacophony of crows. And as you kind of look out the window of the cabin, you can kind of see that they're lined up on the fences and power lines outside. More swirl above and flutter down to perch as moments go by.
What time is it?
As you kind of look at your watch, or it's a little past midnight. It's approaching 1 in the morning.
Yeah, that's not ominous at all. Great. All right. Just sort of rub my eyes. Sort of hanging out from the train car, watching him leave. See the crows up there watching from the power lines.
As you kind of step outside to look at all of this, you see that the knights are in flux, breaking down equipment, and while others pack and prepare to evacuate. You do see Morgan kind of run over with the others and begin helping them. Seems like there's even a group that are running wire to the various support beams, and they run them back to a igniter box.
Is everyone else like? Are we not sleeping here? I thought we were sleeping here, but are we?
You're sleeping in the train.
The train car. Yeah.
As you kind of hear from the inside, a metallic voice kind of pipes through the cabins. Prepare to disembark. This is enough to stir Livy, well, pretty much everyone, from if they're sleeping or doing anything. As
yeah, I'll walk back into the train, the car that I shared with Morgan, and I'll grab the dagger off the ground.
The twisted handle kind of rolls in your palm as you kind of look at it, and you notice that two of the edges have been have caked blood on them.
Like George's blood from the attack?
Melly's.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Georgia was just killed by rats.
Yeah.
Melly's blood. Yeah.
Just
Much
straight
better.
Kenny'd.
Straight up. Yeah.
Yep.
Great. Okay. Yeah, I'll look at the dagger and be like, ugh, Morgan. Professional, my ass. And I'll sit back down.
As you kind of slump into the cot. The outside, the train kind of shudders as a freight cart is coupled to the back of the train. As the knights kind of finish up packing and sit up there, get ready to leave. Morgan's kind of with them as they slide open the bay doors in front of the train. As the engine begins to chug up, the metallic voice crackles through the cabins again. All aboard! The knights finish up their prep and begin filing out of the warehouse into the early morning night. Anyway, words. As the train starts to chug, it rolls out of the warehouse, and the crows kind of flutter off and take off into the night sky. The engine continues to chug as the train slowly gains momentum, and the last car, the cars begin to roll off the pier, and as it rounds a bend, the engine disappears behind a building, and you have just enough time to look back through the window and see Morgan raise a hand and see the evacuating knights kind of flit out of sight behind a building. As the train moves into the outskirts of the city, a series of distant booms emanate from the docks. Looking back across the bay, you can see that black smoke rises over the skyline like a tear in the darkness through the indigo sky. As the train continues rolling up the coast and chugging on through the early morning, the outside the cabin windows, you can kind of see the ever-turning darkness of the sea as it ebbs to and fro against the lavender hues of the horizon. Hours pass and you get some rest, and as you kind of awaken in the early morning, each of you find your clothing has been laundered, and it's mostly dry. You each can take time to kind of ready yourselves in the morning. We'll start with Georgia.
First thing, Georgia would hold off on using her spray.
Mm-hmm.
She will, however, readjust and fix the eye patch, put on a pair of gloves, and along with the rest of her outfit for the day,
Okay.
and before exiting the small cabin, kind of making her way over to scrounge up something edible.
Okay. As you kind of pass over the red perfume bottle and snap a eye patch over your face, the kind of silken material runs over a little bit of scarred skin as you finish readying and head out to get breakfast. I'm gonna bounce around. Melly. Livy.
So, as Livy gets up, she'll, put herself together. She is very, not necessarily vain, but she wants to make sure she's ready for the day. She might look back at her notes that she wrote last night before she went to bed, just to kind of continue processing everything, and she'll just think to herself like, oh shit, we're getting so close, but I just feel like we're so far away. And then she'll maybe jot a few notes, maybe take a moment to just set some questions for the day, some questions that she might want clarified, like, what the hell, Georgia? and
That's at the top.
just to figure
What
out
the
what else
hell, Georgia? Just direct quote.
Yep. What the hell, Georgia? And she's and she's also interested with just the fact that she's walked into this world of so much information and yet so little direct answers.
Okay. We'll go back over to Billy.
All right, am I waking up in the cabin?
Yeah. If you slept.
I like half sleep. My voice is maybe a little raw from repeating something all night.
Right.
Just very disturbed sleep. So maybe he turned to maybe trying to read and maybe dozed off just finally. So he's gonna kind of survey the clean clothes. Be like, the whitetail would smell me from 2.5 miles away with this. Oh God! And I'll go ahead and get dressed in the laundered clothing, and maybe some coffee will shake it off. He's gonna go find some coffee.
Gotcha. And then back over to Rory.
Yeah. I wake up in the cot. Just sort of pull down the skin around my eyes, on my face. look out the window towards the water. Just sort of look out for a few minutes,
As
and then eventually I'll... Yeah, go ahead.
the ocean kind of plays on the with lavender hues kind of just at the horizon. The rest of the sky is still kind of indigo. It's very early morning, but
Yeah, I'll smoke a cigarette while I look there out the window, and then I'll flick it at the open a little bit to flick out the butt, and then I'll go find some coffee as well.
sounds good. As you kind of exit your cabins and wander into the lounge, you find Rupert, who's sitting at the table sipping some tea. He kind of nods to you as you enter. He's got coffee, biscuits, some eggs made with powdered milk. So those are always lovely. But yeah, he did his best. But yeah, as you kind of settle down, grab your coffees, anything to eat that you need, he kind of addresses you. Good morrow. I hope you all slept well. I apologize for the early morning rousal. I wanted to be sure we left before trouble arrived. So, as it were, we kind of deduced that your goal will be figuring out what is happening in Rockport. While I understand this is your first investigation alone, Georgia is a bit of a veteran when it comes to this, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask her and follow her lead if you seek guidance. While conducting your investigation, I believe it is vital to maintain your discretion. If, as we suspect, the town is in cult control, you never know who you are talking to. So, you are college reporters, you are tourists. There are multiple different ways you can spin your story and just make it believable. We are about, as he kind of, he looks at his watch, an hour out from Boston. You have, please feel free to take this time, reflect among your peers, and prepare, as it were. These may be the last safe moments for a little while. He kind of sees himself out, leaving you four with your eaten breakfasts and mostly drank coffees.
Billy
Y'all,
kind
but- Oh, go ahead.
of came in. Sorry, no. It's, Georgia would have had to do a double take on him. Just William, you actually clean up very nicely. She's not sure if she's still half asleep or not because it just caught her so off guard.
Says I know I look ridiculous. Yeah, I figured if we gotta keep a low profile, my appearance definitely can stick out under certain companies. So I thought I'd take one for the team. I know. Don't worry, he'll be back. As I kind of stroke the beard. But he does not look well, despite his kind of jovial response.
Cleaned up but gaunt.
Yeah. I don't know about y'all, but I did not sleep a lick last night. Take a long kind of pull of his coffee and be like, I'm gonna ask y'all a bit of a weird question. Y'all believe in monsters? Mothman, Bat Boy. Got a drink of the coffee. Bigfoot.
Georgia kind of chuckles at first because you're asking the woman who's dealing with monsters on a regular basis, and then you start listing these things off, and you just see the an almost audible eye roll.
What is the attitude about, Georgia? I mean, this is exciting. Listen, Billy, at this point, I don't know what I believe, what I don't believe. They're probably all real. They're probably on this train with us right now.
Look, I'll put it to you this way. If I had to investigate one more Mothman or Jersey Devil, I was going to end it on myself. When we first met and I explained that the incident with the house that we were investigating, for all we knew, could have just been kids. It could have been a fake. There could have been absolutely nothing there. Now, obviously, we were proven that we walked in on Mr. Corbett. However, a lot of times, a lot of the jobs that I was being sent on were bunk. So the fact that we're walking in on something significant and something actually real and tangible, I'm actually right there with you, Livia. It is exciting.
So, in that vein, Georgia, you said all the jobs that you've been on, and
A lot of them, yes.
and Rupert mentioned that you were a veteran. Any information that you'd like to share? And she, takes a bite of the eggs and the
There's
breakfast.
quite a bit I would like to share, however, I'm not at liberty for some things, and you'd have to ask something a little more specific than anything.
Georgia, what have you seen? What do we need to be prepared for? Because Rupert here just said that this may be our last safe moments together, and in order for us to be discreet, if you will, in a town that we've never been in, I think it's fair to kind of know any intel. What have you seen? I mean, in my short span in that house, I saw a lot of spooky shit that honestly, I don't know if I'm ready to see again, but I don't want to, I'm not ready to back off.
Well, walking in, at least to start, I can only imagine that it's really just going to be a lot of people. And if intel is correct, and when it comes to Rupert, I don't doubt his intel, the cult could be any member of that town. They are threaded in. They are fully that town nobody. We cannot trust anybody there. We are the only ones that we can trust once we get out there. That's it. No matter a friendly face, anyone who comes and says, hey, yes, I have information, I can help you. You could be walking right into a trap. And if my theory, at least, is correct, and we are dealing with people that I believe we are, these are very dangerous people who do not care the lengths that they will go to stop us, to torture us. If you had a run-in on the bus by one of them...
It definitely did.
If it was one of them, it says everything I need to know. And we need to be very, very careful.
So what I'm hearing is everyone that we could run into that could be a part of this super massive, awful, all-seeing cult could also be all pervs. Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, you could take your liberties with as many of them as you wish, in however way you wish. You seem to be handy enough with a scalpel.
Very, very. Okay, all right. And in this moment, Livy will look around the room and she'll kind of try to lock eyes with Rory and say, where's Mr. Optimistic? Is he not joining us for breakfast? Too good for us?
Yeah, Morgan's gone. He left this. And I'll roll out the dagger.
You wrapped it in like maybe the bath towel or something.
What?
What do you mean gone?
Yep.
What do you mean gone? Like He was fine. We saw.
Oh no, he's not
managed
dead.
to stop the bleeding.
No, not like that. He's just
Oh.
gone. He walked away.
What do you mean he
Really?
walked away? He was gonna get paid
chose-
triple. What?
He
think
chose not to take
the-
our path.
The costs outweighed the benefits for him. You know.
Was it something I said? I mean, I know I gave him a hard time, but I mean, he was most of the time being a little shit, so you know?
I think it's a big leap of faith to trust someone, you know, and or especially trust a group, and he just wasn't ready to commit that kind of trust, so stepped away.
That's unfortunate.
But
Honestly, I
didn't.
wish I could have done the same. I wish I could have walked away from this, but I can't flip that switch.
Well, I think in the spirit of full transparency, I think I need to tell y'all something. I had a little word with our friend Rupert last night, and he showed me something that, well, let's just say that these people that you speak of, Georgia, these people might be dangerous, but that's not all that might be out there.
What do you mean?
Rupert, he showed us, he showed me some, well, the bodies of some kind of monster. 2 of them.
Livy
Looked like
shoots right up out of her seat. What? Come again? They're here?
Thank you now. Oh, that's interesting.
Well,
Really, do
he
go
says,
on.
I think they should know. Now, this thing was like a man and a fish. They had carnal relations and spawned some kind of hellish abomination.
Oh,
You got to see it? I haven't even seen it. Did you? No, you wouldn't have touched it. No.
Yeah, did I touch
Never
it?
mind.
I don't think I did. I
Did
hope
you?
not. Oh
No.
God. Shit, I hope not. Like, even though maybe I didn't, I'm gonna be like wiping my hands. Like, I'm pretty sure I didn't, but. And so and remind me, one was a fishy one, and what was the other one looking like there, Moon?
It had the skin peeled back from its skull, crimson headed, and it had circle runes inscribed in its flesh. It looked vaguely human, but it had like claws and very like canine-esque teeth. Rory would be able to recognize it.
Yeah, that's what I described. Yeah, that's kind of why I was wondering if y'all seen anything before. I have always believed that there were things out there, but this is
Well,
the first time I've ever seen anything.
The first one, I'm
like-
actually
like that.
the first one. I'm actually rather jealous that you got to see. The second, if he showed you, I'm sure he told you. I actually helped bring that one in.
Yeah, I met
It's a
that one.
I kind of stopped.
What?
We'll be honest. My listening skills weren't the best when I saw those monstrosities, but
Oh, understandable.
so it makes me feel a little better that you had a hand in bringing it in.
Yeah, that was not easy. I think Samuel might have lost a man or two. I'm not sure specifically.
Livy
No,
looks
couple of his
visibly
guys were injured.
confused after you say that. After Rory said that.
Rory, what's going on over there, buddy? You all right?
Yeah, fine. What do you mean?
Well, you think? I mean, from what I could tell, they can be killed. Small guns, small arms fire, swords.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
don't
I
know if
punched
you
the big
wanna-
square in the face 5 or 6 times and it didn't go down, so we're gonna need more than just fists.
You've seen one too.
I saw that. I saw whatever you're talking about, I fucking punched it in the face. I mean, his name's Gardner, but yeah.
I've
You knew it.
seen a gargoyle. That's
Gardner.
about it. No,
Oh,
and
you mean you've seen a gargoyle?
I've seen a gargoyle, but
Like a
that's
stone
about
gargoyle?
it. No, so okay, all right. So my uncle Douglas decided to become some kind of gargoyle thing, and
Gargoyle thing.
yeah. So that's what I've seen.
Can
Super.
you can you
Yeah.
describe what he looked like?
Uh,
Like a
he
stone
had
gargoyle?
this. Not quite. I mean, you could. I could kind of make out his features, but his face was super elongated, and his feet and his hands all just morphed, and like it was just. He was super like. He was so much bigger and hunched over. I mean, he
Smell
still.
like rotten meat.
Yes, yes. I will. Now,
Oh,
I am very familiar with dead bodies, so no big
that
deal there. But this
is interesting.
was something else. And while we're on this subject of self-disclosure here, um, before we left, I kind of received a postcard from my sister, who pretty sure she needs help.
In Rockport?
Yeah.
What's she doing in Rockport? What? Your sister? How's she mixed up in all this?
I have a lot of the same questions. She's thoroughly enjoying herself. I don't typically, say things that are super important to me, like because I'm trying to protect this, but my sister's super important to me. She's like the last person I have, and if I don't make it, will you all at least search for her?
Yeah, of course. She's your kin. Of course we will. Right. Everybody will look around, and there's nothing. We all stick together. I think
Yeah,
we
you're not
got a
going
good shot
anywhere.
at figuring this thing out.
But let's be real. Let's just be honest about it. It's not guaranteed that we're all coming back.
When is
Do
it
what we
ever?
can.
So,
That's fair. It's very fair, Rory. Yep.
I think we do what we can. Can't make guarantees, though. Not in relation to this.
Well,
That's fair.
so
But we'll do what we can.
if maintaining a low profile here and keeping our tracks covered is important, then we should probably talk about what our cover story is for being in Rockport. Then.
sure. I also think we might want to figure out what to do with the dagger, because pretty sure it was
shit,
the reason
yeah.
we were being chased the other night. Or last night.
Really?
Pretty sure we could probably just give it to Rupert. He should be able to deal with it.
So those are the
It'll be safe here.
Merryweathers.
I mean,
not the Merryweathers. Excuse me.
If it has some sort of power to kill, those creatures, it could be useful to us. But
Yes,
if they can track it, then oh no.
but and she kind of points around to the windows. It is warded. They can't see in here.
Can we ward the dagger?
Well, as long as it's in here, they can't see us. We're in here.
No, I mean if we were to take the dagger with us. Well, I mean we're leaving here eventually, right?
Oh yes,
They're gonna be able to see us.
true. But if we leave the dagger here in the train with Rupert, it's as safe as it can be.
Yeah.
And who's to know if the dagger is connected to? He said it was from the statue.
Yeah,
Then-
except Morgan thinks they needed it for their ritual or whatever. It was missing from the statue or something.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the instinct for it. I'm sad to see him walk away, but he could be right, and keeping the dagger away from them would actually be the best call. Stop them from finishing any ritual they're trying to do, or at least stall them.
Yeah.
if they can't track it because it's in a protected area, then there's no way for them to actually find it unless they try to go through us.
Fair point.
No, I don't know a lot about it, so I think I'll leave it up to your better brains, man.
Yeah, I can't pretend I know anything either. I'd like to know if it has some sort of ability. But, or any more than a normal knife.
Yeah.
It certainly
Perhaps
flew through
maybe,
the air like it wasn't a normal knife.
Well, Rupert seems like he knows a little bit, a thing or two. I might have him take a look at it.
Yeah.
That in mind, Rory, did he happen to leave anything else behind, or was it just the dagger?
Just the dagger. Why?
Pity. I was hoping maybe if he had gone back to the house to collect the dagger, which was in the basement, then maybe there was something else that he might have found on his way out.
Like
Fortunately, I don't know. Never finished searching the house. We're in such a rush to get to the basement.
I don't think he went
skipped a
back
few
for the
rooms.
dagger. I think he took it with him when he left. Right?
Oh, when we left the basement that evening, the dagger was still on the ground. After you two ran off, the three of us actually left. It was still there. I went back the next morning and it was gone.
Didn't realize he went back. Yeah.
Saw him missing it. He was the only suspect I could think of.
As kind of this conversation kind of flows on, and kind of the hour passes. You have a minute. You have time to kind of pack your things that you brought on board, get everything in a row, and the brakes as you kind of wrap up your things. The train's brakes squeal, and it starts to slow down as you enter a train yard just outside of Boston. A handful of cars idle upon tracks as pan past the windows as you come up and stop next to a platform. The train comes to a final rest with a little bit of a... and as the brakes fully stop the train and the steam is let out the engine, you are allowed to disembark.
Just before they go, Georgia will kind of approach Rory and just, would you mind if I gave the dagger to Rupert? I know we kind of talked about it earlier, but...
Why don't we just talk to him about it? Together.
That's good.
Also, we're driving from here to Rockport, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cover story in the car. Figure out the cover story in the car.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. That works.
As you sorry.
No,
go ahead.
no, go ahead. No, go ahead.
As you disembark and kind of head out, you see that Rupert awaits next to the back car, kind of standing, awaiting you by the slide door to the car. I trust you already.
You can be.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He opens
Got any more shells by any chance? Ammo?
He smiles as he grabs the slide door and opens up the car to reveal an extensive cache of weapons, ammo, cleaning supplies, and another Model T similar to George's Hermes.
Oh, I don't even know how to use half of these.
I'll grab... Is there like a Tommy gun?
There is, you don't see one on the wall. And when you kind of ask about it, he's like, oh yes, we should have one in the back. Check the back crates there in the hay. There should be still one in there. And as you kind of open up, the creaks open, you kind of dig through the hay and pull out a Tommy gun, kind of shaking the loose hay off of it. It's freshly minted and you can still smell the factory oil on it.
Yeah.
Any more of those? Any more of these? I like this. That, yes.
I gave most of them to the knights. Prototype weapons from the military. They should
pretty
be on the
unstable.
market. Yeah, they should be on the market by next year or so. But
Georgia will just grab some more ammo for hers, and then kind of sorry, proceed from there.
oh, gotcha. Yeah, and as he just kind of lets you do the kid in the candy store thing with the supplies, you know, oil up your guns, all that fun stuff, get ammo. There is small arms if Melly wants to pick up, or so Livy wants to pick up something. I think Rory still has your 32 that you grabbed off the one dude if you wanted it.
Oh yeah, I gave that. I'm giving that back to you. For
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, I have the 32 that I grabbed off that one dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I meant I'm giving, because I took Livy's gun as well at one
Right.
point. So I'm
Yeah.
giving you your gun back, obviously. Yeah.
Yep.
And then you still have the other 30.
And I'll take that one and I'll load up on ammo for that one as well. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So I have a Tommy gun and that, and I'll also grab there's like a fucking fisherman's knife.
Fisherman's knife? Okay.
I mean, you know
Yeah,
what
I
I mean,
imagine
like a
that would
hunting knife. If there's like a good
Oh,
hunting
yeah.
knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There, as you kind of look over to the side, you do see that there's a collection of different knives from anything ranging from Switch to Rambo knife. There's a whole
Oh
collection.
shit. Okay. Interesting. Fuck. I'm trying to think of what I'd probably be more like would be Rory. I don't even know.
Almost like a Switch,
Some
right?
knuckle dusters. Some
Couple knuckle dusters?
I mean,
Because I feel like
Yeah.
it's almost like Outsiders, right? A little bit, where like
yeah, maybe it is.
sometimes
maybe it
you
is
do
a little bit more
some-
like a switchblade.
sometimes you do like rough ups. You match the weaponry that's going to be brought. If nobody's supposed to die, you just bring chains, knuckle dusters, that kind of thing. But yeah,
Yeah, but we're clearly in it for more than a penny.
Yeah.
Certainly a pound this time. So.
indeed. So yeah, he loads up, just picks up any knife that looks interesting to him. And as you kind of load up, and anything more extensive, bigger, like the Tommy gun or rifles, get thrown into the back of the Model T.
Try.
Yeah.
So, Livy's going to take an assortment of smaller knives that she can hide, like in her, just around both of her legs, and
like
her
stiletto
fishnets.
knives, like really
Mhm.
thin. Yeah,
Yep,
I dig it.
she's gonna be guarded
Yeah.
to the nines.
As we're finishing up, Georgia will kind of like catch Rory's eye and kind of gesture over to Rupert. And as she'll kind of lead. Just, Rupert, before we go, apparently Morgan had left behind a bit of a going away present, as it were. And she'll kind of make room for Rory to kind of step in. And
Yeah, I'll sort of like flip out in my hand the knife so that the hilt is facing towards him.
As you do that, actually, I know this is a little petty for a GM, but roll me a dex check.
Sure.
dick.
I'll admit it. I'll admit it before I even ask you.
Roll
okay.
for flair, please.
Roll for flair, please. Okay, good. As you kind of flick the knife, you feel that like it almost like changes weight as you flick it. It almost cuts you, but you end up holding it and kind of just that didn't happen as you hand it to him.
He left this. Said it was why those guys were looking for us the other night.
He kind
last
of
night.
gingerly takes it out of your hand. Interesting.
Apparently it pairs with that nice statue that our associates have.
Ah, I see.
It was also flying around the basement. For the
Interesting.
record.
Does not seem to have any. He kind of checks the the gem and stuff like that. Doesn't seem to have any latent abilities.
I think it was being controlled by Mr. Corbett at the time.
Perhaps some light telekinesis. Interesting. The tri-blade I've seen before somewhere, but I'd have to look into my books to see exactly what it was used for. What is your plan with it?
I was thinking, leave it with you. It'd be safer under wards than it would be on us, especially if they have the statue in Rockport.
I'll put it in the adamantium vault, and hopefully any frequencies it lets off won't call out to anything. But
And if they did, would the adamantine stop it?
hopefully.
Okay. Do I trust this guy?
You're like adamantium? What the fuck is that? That's.
Well, I just mean, like, do I trust that this guy's... I don't know. Is he on the... I just...
He seems
I
like
want
he's
to
on
make
the
sure
out.
that this guy's not the fucking...
You can roll
cultist
an
himself.
insight.
What?
You can roll an insight.
Is that... Okay.
I believe that's a thing.
Did
No,
you,
psychology.
Were you able to...
That's what it is.
Psychology?
Psychology.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the insight in this game. Damn. Okay.
Rory,
Damn.
God damn.
Check it out.
I'm telling you, this is the only
Okay.
game I ever roll well in.
I'm starting
Damn.
to
Well, I
question
roll.
that.
Right. It's
Huh?
I'm not
roll,
questioning it. I'm very happy about that.
roll 20 like signs a weird contract once you start being a GM on their website, and like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
start giving you some good rolls.
I guess.
I think that's how it works. So yeah, as you
I
kind
am
of
proof that it's not.
as you oh, thank you for the subscription.
What?
Thank you. As you kind of read Rupert, he's being sincere as far as you can tell. I mean, there's one eye to read, the other one is just painted on, so it's makes it a little difficult.
Yeah, I guess I mean, like, when I hand him the dagger, his eyes don't fucking flash with a maniacal fire. Or
No,
anything,
no,
you know?
he looks more intrigued and and just curious.
Yeah, okay.
It's a scientific almost like nerd.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, I'm just trying to make sure that he's not the big bad at the end of the game.
Yeah, no,
and
absolutely.
Is, in fact, a good guy.
No, that's
God, I hope not.
maybe. Most likely.
Oh.
All
Yeah,
signs
right.
point to. All right.
Well, he's just, I mean, clearly he's a very powerful figure, and I want to make sure that he is actually, you get it. You
On
get
the
it.
up and
I
up.
tried.
That is-
Yeah, he seems
yeah.
chill.
He seems
Um,
innocent.
Great foresight. Great foresight.
It's good.
Also, Rupert, I was wondering if you were able to get a translation on the pedestal inscription? I meant to ask you yesterday.
Ah, yes. I believe I am still working on it. I was able to make out the first couple words and children, but I didn't have much time to work on it. I'll be sure to either send. I'll be sure to send a telegraph. Coded, of course. Once I have the translation. Yes. As you kind of load up the vehicle and Rory hops into the driver's seat and the kind of starts up the engine. You roll off the train and onto the platform. As you kind of roll down the ramp that's been set up, Rupert kind of cleans his glasses and perches them back on his face. And you kind of stop next to him. He kind of motions you to kind of stop next to him. He addresses you as you kind of roll down the window. It's about a 30-minute drive to Rockport from here. Or 90-minute, if I can read correctly. Trust no one, especially those in positions of authority. If questioned on your purpose, use unreasonable cover story to not raise suspicions. Trust your intuition, and don't be afraid to use creative solutions.
From like inside one of the car, Billy calls out, "How about we're a part of a circus?"
No, no.
Roger just pats his shoulder.
Godspeed, as you kind of begin to roll off and head off the train, out of the train yard and onto the highway.
Thanks, Rupert. If I come back, I want the training.
I think right here is a good place to take our little bit of a break.
Sure.
I have a little bit of a trailer tribute for Mega, just because we kind of
yeah.
goodbye to his character.
Yeah.
That'll play right
In the arms
Yeah.
of the angels.
Fly away. No, anyway, so I'm gonna play that right before we go into our break, and then I'll leave you with some music, and we'll be back here in about 10 minutes or so, and we'll pick up our story again. Thank you, Mizore, for the subs and the biddies. I appreciate it, and we'll see you here in a minute.
Much.
Hello, everybody. Pickle always pops in last, but that doesn't make him any less important.
It's
How is
working
it?
though today. It's much better.
Yeah, no, it's been great. Yes, we're back with Occult Origins. I lost myself for a second. We're back with Occult Origins. We're continuing our episode of Choices. Our investigators just left, just are leaving just a train station outside of Boston and heading to Rockport up in northeastern Massachusetts. As we kind of roll back in, I'll turn off this cool music and start other cool music, because that's the kind of person I am. And by cool music, in this case, we're turning on the sound effects of a car.
Yeah.
And seagulls. Anyway, as we kind of come back in, there's a Model T rattling down the coastline. Wait, where am I? Yeah, as you head out of Boston and kind of head out of the metropolis and the outskirts of Boston, and make your way kind of into the hills and woods north of that. Stone rock walls flit by the windows, and as you roll through hills and the old roads of northern Massachusetts, the sun sets high in the cloudless sky as you pass through Gloucester, and as you kind of make it through that metropolis and that traffic, the roads kind of narrow and the traffic empties as you enter the lowlands.
So, cover story. Anybody have any ideas?
I still think the circus could be a good idea if we do it right.
It sounds amazing, Billy. However, I feel like Rupert was onto something about being students. It puts on a good guise of we're asking questions, we want to learn. Maybe we've got an assignment or something that we're trying to get information for.
Is there a school?
Maybe I'm a professor.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Billy can get. Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Is there a school that we could be researching for?
I mean, Boston University is right there in the city.
Sure.
Arkham comes to mind.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a place that we could say that we're working for, that everyone's not going to be like, oh yeah, old Joey Two Shoes. You know him? He's a
That's a
professor or
good
what?
point.
You know what I mean?
Could be coming from New York if you'd
Well,
like
no,
prefer that.
honestly, I think BU might be a good option because it's big enough, right? If Boston University,
yeah.
I assume it's big enough. Probably, if I said I don't fucking know Joey Two Shoes, nobody would blink twice.
As watching which professors you try to label out. But keeping it just vague enough, but just enough specifics could save your skin.
I thought originally, I was thinking like we could be in real estate development. You know what I mean? Get us into places if we need to. Like,
I think using the guise of students, artists, tourists, even, he said. So that might be our best bet to sliding under the radar.
Sure. If we're students, it explains perhaps why we're all together. If we're tourists, it's a little hard to explain whatever this is.
I don't exactly look much of a student, honestly, but maybe I'm a visiting professor of wildlife biology or something.
It's got a ring to it.
I like it. I like it. I thought about pursuing a more academic career when I was young, but never could get into that or that school book learning. That's where they indoctrinate the minds of the youth. Let me tell you, turn them into little
know a lot about
capitalists.
animals, though, or no?
Yeah, I know a little bit. They got tails, they got hair. Some of them don't have hair. Did you know that?
What?
Like what?
Well, there's like rats or something that don't have hair sometimes. I don't know.
Oh, like on their tails. Yeah, no, I knew that.
Yeah. But
Good talk, Billy. Good talk.
Mr. Graves,
I think I could pull it off.
Yeah.
a man of your focus, your field, what brings you to Rockport?
Yeah, well, I heard that there's some kind of weird hairless rat in this city. I wanted to take a look at it for science and the betterment of, my students here. That sounds pretty good, didn't it?
We'll put a pin in it. We'll work on it.
Yeah,
All right, well,
really,
I'm open to suggestions. I don't know.
really small pin might fall out.
I do worry that none of us might seem like. I mean, Livy maybe, but I don't know if I fit the student archetype either, to be honest.
Oh, you'd be surprised on the way some of the students dress when it's out of school hours.
I mean, maybe if we're PhD students, that makes a little more sense. I mean, I'm too old to be in school.
On the contrary. I mean, even Mr. Graves could pass as a student.
Oh,
Still working
maybe,
towarz
Yeah, I'm like an
a
eccentric
doctorate.
artist. Yeah, for photography. I take all kinds of pictures. Yeah.
Okay. I can
Billy,
buy
where's
that.
your camera?
That's it.
Do you even have a camera, Billy?
Oh, well, shit. You guys got a camera?
No.
I didn't see it in the artillery shed.
I'm
Okay.
a painter, or
There were, we'll say for the sake of argument and sake of story, that there were small cameras that you probably picked up if you were interested.
yeah. I like it. We could be doing a photographic journal of the young artists of this new century, post-war something gobbledygook. They'll eat it up.
All right.
So we're all student artists?
Well, if he's maybe we're all wildlife, researchers. We have
I think
a
we
photographer.
keep it simple, keep it easy.
Yeah, but we're here looking for some. We're nature people, right? We're here for some of the specifics that Rockport can offer for us.
There's a
Sure.
there's a thump under your wheels, and kind of as you kind of enter a dirt road, as the wheels begin to crunch the gravel underneath them. The road kind of presses in as gnarled bushes and trees stretch out of the swamps around you and press in on the roadway, clawing at the side panels as you rattle past.
Schools just like give out money, right? Like we could just say we have a grant,
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
We
We
all
have a
want like a
grant to come to
scholarship.
Rockport and study.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
Whoa,
that's. I
from
mean,
the
that's all I
from
think.
Boston University, is that it?
Grant for Boston University to come up to Rockport, do a bit of research and
Documenting.
yeah. Do our thing. We each have our own sort of special fields, but you know, we together we went in on the grant or whatever, and that's why we're all sort of here working together.
Love it.
Okay,
It's
okay.
perfect.
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be much like nature around here, so maybe something like marine life specialty of some sort.
Yeah.
Checking invasive species and making
Ooh.
sure that the, you know,
Sure.
Yeah,
I
they're
think
Do you
being
think-
George is right. We want to
healthy.
keep it sort of general as much as we can.
Keep
you know.
it simple. I think passing as amateur painters may actually be a bit of a way to go, considering there is the influx of painters in the area. Tourists. Trying to make it too specific to relying on a lie from a school. If we can't trust people there and they could become suspect, they can trace back any of our names that we give them, any locations that we give them. We need to be careful.
We say we got a university grant. You know, that if they ask for more specific than that, we tell them like, you know, why you ask. If they need to know, we'll be like, it's from BU. You know, what do you
It's
want from me?
normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think being less descriptive is better, Rory.
No, I totally agree. I just mean,
Yeah, that's pretty nondescript. And we're just here. Yeah, we're students.
if people try to ask more, I'm not gonna. You know, it's nice to have a little bit to give. Obviously, I'll give them as little as I can, always.
Yeah, and
But,
in the Rory fashion, we'll just, the hell do you want? And they'll go away, I'm certain.
As
Say it like that. They might just, Livy. They might just.
Yeah.
as you
Huh.
coast along the long narrow bend, kind of. Sorry, my brain. Let me try that again. As you coast along a long narrow bend, a road sign comes into view ahead. It reads, "Road closed ahead."
Well, that's an issue.
I mean, we knew that this place was kind of off the beaten path, yeah? There wasn't any maps of it, so we had to find a special one.
Right. Well, I'll keep going until there's no more road. So.
Well, keep
Right.
going.
As you kind of slow down and navigate around the sign, you kind of pick back up speed.
Yeah, I won't go too fast though.
Yeah. As you kind of coast down and finish around the bend, ahead you see a power pole down in the road, the torn lines sparking angrily across the gravel road.
No. Well, that's no good.
That is no good. Is there any way around it or no?
As you kind of look, as long as you were, it looks like the ground's solid enough to roll around it, but you might want to like get out and like feel with your feet before you take it the car in there and risk the biscuit.
Sure. Yeah.
So as you
So if we do try to navigate it, I'll have someone spot me as we go around. You know what I mean?
yeah, that sounds perfect. Who spots you as you kind of go to pull off the road and get around it?
Now I'll spot you.
You sure you don't want me to test it?
Right, left.
I mean, you can get the left side. Billy gets the right side. You know, just make sure that I'm not hitting that tree and I'm not hitting that power line. Okay?
Okay, all right.
You both get out of the car, and the line continues to and set out sparks from its lines as it kind of twists and writhes on its own. You guys kind of keep your distance and head to either side. On the end of the pole where Livy heads, she almost immediately starts sinking in as she steps off the road.
Oh, it's pretty bad footing over here.
She kind of pulls her attempts to pull her foot out of the muck, and her shoe pretty much lets go in the muck. She has to kind of fish it out as Billy kind of rounds over to the other side. It's a bit of a bump with the rain wash off, kind of where the rain, kind of the gutter in there. But it's solid, and as you kind of head to the base of the pole, you actually notice something weird about the pole itself. It's not like splintered, like, you know, from a storm or anything. You see hack marks from axe cut.
I'm getting some heebie-jeebie vibes here. Can I like kind of look around? Like, is this a trap? Is there people hiding somewhere?
You can roll me a spot hidden if you like. As you look around,
7 and 9.
It's still mid-afternoon, and you kind of have a pretty good look at things. You can kind of see the water and the kind of different wooden kind of bushes and trees kind of gnarled and reaching out of the swamp. You don't see anybody or any sign of people watching, but you do feels like there's eyes upon you. The one thing you do notice, though, is that there's a set of tire tracks on the opposite side of all this that kind of pulled off to the side and seem to have backed off and head back into town. They look like truck tracks.
So perhaps then, someone, whoever did this, maybe thought maybe we drive around it or something, or like not drive around it, turn around and go back. Wouldn't bother to continue.
That's probably that makes a lot of sense.
This is real weird, you guys. I think this is no accident. I think this is done on purpose.
What, my shoe getting stuck in the mud? What are you talking about?
No, the power lines. This here wasn't blown down by no natural act. This here was cut on purpose.
The road sign, is it near us right now?
It's like 100 feet back.
Okay. Did it look like it had been there for a long... Does this all look like it's been there for a while? Or, like, was this done today?
This has, like, been done in, well, maybe in the last day or two. It's recent, but not, like...
Really weird.
Fresh.
Yeah, okay.
Let's get through this. Let's get out of here. I don't like it. It's dangerous.
I agree with you, but I bet you it only gets weirder from here.
Might have to agree.
Now, is there any way we can get around, Livy? That you said that side's pretty mucky.
It is. We will certainly get stuck over here. If I'm getting stuck just standing here.
Yeah, the car's not going to make it through that.
Absolutely not.
How was the other side?
It's firm.
Billy. How was the other side of the road?
I mean, can we fit? I don't know.
Yeah.
Can I see that part?
You can fit. It'd be a little bit of a tight squeeze in between a tree and one of the what's left of the pole.
We barely got enough room on this side. It's gonna be tight, but I think she can make it.
Okay. Yeah, it's solid ground, though, yeah?
Right? It's solid. Yeah.
All right, let's bring it through.
Right. Come on. Turn the wheel to your left. No, your other left. Your other left.
I'm turning it to the left, Billy.
It's too close.
Sorry. I meant the right.
Well, if you're looking at me, it's gonna be my left, Billy.
I'm so sorry. I'm all calm. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Continue left.
Billy, don't throw them off the cliff. Yeah. Come on.
Waving them through. You got it. Yeah. Through.
As you kind of
giving them like doing the thing where you like give the distance with your hands, you know.
Yeah, there's the whole like pivot moment in the and as you kind of all roll out and around the obstruction, kind of thump back onto the road. Billy hops in. Billy goes to hop in.
Ain't no problem.
The doors clamp shut with both the passengers, and we head back down the road and off towards our destination. As you rattle kind of out of the swamp, and finally kind of hit some more forested areas. You notice that the afternoon sun slowly gets muted by gray clouds. The windows begin to fog up, and the muddy swamp air becomes cool and clammy. Continuing along, visibility drops as you enter a veil of low-hanging heavy fog as gravel continues to crunch underneath your wheels.
Ooh, creepy music.
Eventually, it seems like after, you don't know how long, honestly, a covered wooden bridge comes and a large sign emerge from the mist ahead. Bold letters read, "Welcome to Rockport."
Is that not creepy? Is that not... Does anyone else
A little spooky. Yeah, it's a little spooky.
get a weird vibe about this?
Almost certainly. Yeah.
You're not alone.
Do you know where your sister is?
I've got the postcard here in my bag. Let me look for it. I'm assuming I have it with me, or do I recall?
Yeah, you can have it with you. I had it typed out, so I don't have an actual postcard for you.
While they seem to be distracted and we're pulling up, George is gonna dig into her handbag and kind of like turn away towards the car door to like kind of hide, like take off the eye patch and kind of mess
You
with
have
her
an eye
face a
patch?
bit.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's had an eye patch the entire...
Yeah.
What,
The entire day.
time? What the hell?
Not the whole
I did
time,
mention it.
just this
What's
morning.
with that eye patch?
Just since this
Just-
morning.
Yeah, this morning. She's been wearing it the whole time.
I forgot to ask. It's in my notes.
It's okay.
It's okay. We can take a moment.
I do think we
hurt
need
your,
that, right?
You hurt your
Just
eye
kinda-
there or something? What's going on with the...
I imagine
I should
we,
kinda
we can
turn
play it
you
off
down
as like
there.
you have awkwardly not mentioned it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, was that the whole
She's
time?
like
wanna be
doing this
rude, but
number.
How's your eye? You poke it? You get something in there? What's going
Are
on?
you okay? That doesn't heal as easily as everything else on the human body, so...
Did I get something in it? That's one way of putting it, yes, actually. In fact,
All right.
now's not exactly the time to go over that. Perhaps later.
As you roll past the sign and onto the bridge, the sound of nature behind you dissipates. The engine rattles and the tires thump, creating a hollow and dissonant roar as you cross the bridge. You speed up as the roar reaches its peak and emerge to see the town in the distance. Odd speckles of black surge and coil in the sky as you see blackbirds swirl about an inordinate amount. Thick fog coils around the buildings and boats as only the tops of them are visible and peek out from the veil, seemingly floating in the clouds as you approach. As you roll down the hill and towards the town.
That doesn't seem normal.
But we kind of expected coming in that this place wasn't going to be normal.
Right.
As for normal, I think one last go. Art students, guest speaker.
Yep. Art
we-
students, guest professor. Yeah.
I think do
Well,
what you want.
say-
Yeah,
say
say
very
what
little.
you want. Just know that we come here from, you know, we got some money to come here from
Boston University.
yeah, from Boston University or whatever.
Got it.
But I
Right,
won't
yeah.
say Boston University if I can help it.
Right. Yeah, the college. Boston.
Small
We
colleges
got some
exist.
money from a college to come
Yeah.
up here and do a little research and you know explore our interests.
Creative possibilities and horizon.
Yeah, our future's ahead of us and all that bullcrap.
Yeah. I'm still of the mindset of the hell do you want?
Yeah, definitely that one. Definitely that one.
As you roll in to town, the streets are sparsely populated and quiet. Only a few cars and even a few carriages roll down the main street as you make a pass near the center of town. As you kind of make your way to the few inns that are in the area on the east side of town, you pass a street corner where a few customers line up at a stand where plucked blackbirds dangle from twine.
Wait, what?
Interesting.
As you
You
look,
plucked blackbirds hang from twine.
yes. As you
That
kind
is
of
extremely disturbing.
take a look, you see that people are throwing down some money and taking full bags of paper bags and putting them underneath their arms and going home with them.
Like they were rotisserie chickens.
Yes. That's actually a great description.
Let's just act normal now. Let's not
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
too
right,
hard
right,
at
okay.
it. But, this is all
yeah.
just a normal thing here, right?
We're
everybody?
visitors. Us being a little put off is normal, but
Yeah.
just don't act outside of that. We don't have an agenda.
I'm in Georgia, because that's not that. No.
Yeah. Where are we gonna look for a place to stay first? Where should we
I
start here?
believe the Stewart's Inn or the Straightsmith Inn. Well, the two two names we were given anyways.
Get to the closest one, I reckon. What do y'all think?
Works for me. We know any more about them, or just that they're two inns? We could drive by both.
And the hostel, which
Okay.
we'll find all the artists, all the young students. Being significantly cheaper considering it's a hostel, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
if
It's
some
also
of you
more
need
public.
a proper bed,
Artists traditionally don't have that much.
As you
Worried
roll
about
toward
the privacy of a hostel is the only problem.
right. As you roll towards the inns, you kind of and head out of the main area of town, taking Old Garden Road not along the coast. You spot a small group of kids, 4 of them to be exact, and kind of walking down the street. Slingshots hang out of the back of their pockets, and the last of them pulls a red wagon with a wool blanket in it behind them. As you kind of
Shooting crows?
as you roll into the lot next to the inn, you begin to file out as you spot 3 crows perched on the roof's end, eyeing you as you exit the vehicle and load out.
Which inn is this now?
The C word inn. There's one Straitsmouth inn, but it's at the end of the coast. It's just on the tip of the peninsula at the end of the street. And
Oh, this looks good enough. Shall we go inside? Go see if they got a vacancy.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess I'll go in.
a work.
Sounds good.
I'm just trying to see it on the... We do have a map, right? Like, that's a thing that we have in our possession right now?
yes, so
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm just trying to see it on the map.
let me just go ahead and point it out, and let me show for the viewers as well.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is the C word inn right here,
Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, great.
and you kind of
Not to
came
be
in.
confused with C word. It's very different.
Yes.
Squidward, C word, you know. Yeah, so, yes. Anyway, so yes, you came up Main Street and kind of turned through, went to the C word. as as you kind of approach the inn, the door is glass paneled, and a white card reading vacancy hangs from the inside of the door. As you kind of push open the door, a bell above you rings as you enter. Inside, you find a wide wooden desk fronts the far wall with a fireplace off to the right adjacent to it. It's kind of crackling away.
See anybody?
No one's here at the moment. The room is built from varnished wood panels, and on the wall behind the desk is a few pictures of locations from around town, and one of a robust man in a suit with a quarry behind him in the background.
This is early morning, right?
It's like afternoon. You know, it's
okay.
probably like 1, approaching 2 o'clock.
Is there like a bell to ring?
Yeah, on the counter before you, you see a brass bell next to a jar filled with pencils and a couple oil lamps. You go as the bell dings off. You kind of wait a moment, kind of taking in the rest of the area. Underneath the pictures, you see the keys for all the rooms kind of hanging. And as you kind of look around, the door in a corner kind of opens up, and a thin young woman with long brown hair enters the room. She bustles over to the counter and kind of fumbles with the keys on her for a moment, unlocking a thing behind the cabinet and pulling out a ledger.
Excuse me, good afternoon, and welcome to the Seaward Inn. Do you have a reservation?
Afternoon, miss. No reservation here. We're just hoping to grab a couple. What do you think? 2 rooms? Yeah, 2 rooms. I think would do us quite nicely. Thank you.
Two beds and rooms, or?
Yeah, that should suffice.
Okay. And she kind of goes back over to grab some keys off the wall, and kind of goes through some paperwork and mentions the fee and stuff. Money's exchanged, and she's like,
I'll take you to your rooms now. There'll be 3 and 4 just down the hall here.
and she just goes back. There's a total of 4 rooms here. Well, sorry, there's a total of 8 rooms here. And as you kind of head back, the first 2 on the right, she opens up, and 2 rooms with bedding that is faded but clean and yellow in color. Next to it, there's a bedside table holding an oil lamp and an alarm clock. You find regular stuff like dresser, small dining table for 2, and a vanity mirror. Each room also has a private bathroom, and to boot, you even have a door that connects both rooms that's bolted on both sides. So,
Please, feel free to ask anything you like. There's a newspaper at the front that you can feel free to help yourself to, and take care.
Thank you very much. I will appreciate your hospitality. I think I'll grab one of those newspapers.
Sure.
you kind of head back with her. She kind of hands you the newspaper and kind of nods to you.
If you need anything, I'll be in the back room. Just knock.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, and I'm just curious here. A friend of mine I heard was coming to town here some time ago.
Oh.
Harrison. You hear? You see my friend at all in town?
Livy, let's retire. She'll-
That sounds good.
I don't believe so. No, was your friend a artist? There's a lot of those
writer,
running around. A writer. Oh. Yes, I don't. Haven't had anybody here checking with that name.
Oh, fair enough. Well, thank you kindly again.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, that's between us.
Don't worry about it. Give her a little smile.
Oh, and you forgot to sign the ledger. What was your name?
Oh, yeah. My name is Ernest Ernest P. Farnsworth. Go ahead and write it.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Farnsworth. I'll be sure to ask me anything you know, and I'll make sure that there's some ice on out here ready for you at night.
Fantastic, thank you.
And
Go back up and join everybody else.
She bustles off. As you kind of enter the rooms, you have a moment to get settled. And settle in. If you feel like after a long car ride you need like a shower or anything, you can do that. Everything you need, personal care, all that stuff, provided to you here via very small bathroom and stained tile, like that kind of slightly yellow everything. But yeah, it's everything you hear is needed. It's not top of the line. It's definitely a step down from the Pullman car. But yes.
Are we all up there and together?
Yep.
The rooms are connected by a door.
Yep.
Yeah, I figure we'll open up
Double door.
the door there. Yeah. Well, I think I handled myself quite admirably, if I say so myself. Told her my name was Ernest P. Farnsworth, so you guys got to remember my name's Ernest. You could call me Ernie. Sounds like Billy. I think that's a pretty good cover, if you ask me.
Are we all doing fake names? Is that a thing?
As long as you can remember them, that's
Oh, yeah.
fine.
Professor Farnsworth
That's-
to you all, though.
Not a terrible idea, actually. Good thinking, William. Oh, Ernest. My apologies.
Yes. I think Ernie's a pretty smart fellow, so thank you.
So are you the cool professor and we're calling you Ernie, or
Oh,
Mr.
shit, no.
Farnsworth? Which
No, Professor Farnsworth, Doctor, I guess, if you prefer.
Dr. Okay.
Doctor
Okay.
Professor.
No.
It's one or the other.
Professor sounds good.
That just sounds like a made-up name. Oh,
There's a real person. How dare you? Who said that?
oh. So yeah, as you kind of flip open the Rockport Report, as it were, the
Yeah.
local newspaper,
Classic.
right? There's a couple different articles. One reading "Mysterious fog clouding streets." Seems like the most relevant to your situation at the moment. If somebody would like to take the time to read that.
Oh, most definitely. I'll be skipping that.
Did you mean out loud?
Yes. If you don't mind.
I can
Someone else
read
could
it
go
out
for it.
loud.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so this says mysterious fog clouding streets. Mysterious fog continues to choke the good city of Rockport. No one can explain it, and calls for outside assistance to authorities are going unheeded. The fog rolled in overnight a week ago, on August 24th, and refuses to go away. The fog is having a detrimental effect on the buildings in the city, causing paint to peel and age rapidly. The fog is having an adverse effect on the local economy, as all the tourists in the town have left. Concern that the fog will lead to health effects was voiced at last night's town hall meeting. Chief Studdard assured everyone that experts have tested the fog and found that it poses no health risk to the citizens of Rockport. The meeting was concluded with a prayer from Reverend Sardonicus? So a fog that essentially ages buildings, causes the paint to peel, but isn't a health issue? That doesn't sit well with me. What do you guys think?
No, something's not right about that. What was the name of the sheriff?
It says Chief Studdard.
Chief.
Okay.
Reverend Sardonicus, huh?
No.
Mhm.
Something like
Or
this.
what kind of chapel he from?
I mean, in our past experience, the religiously affiliated members of town have been the biggest problem. So, it might be good following up on him, you know.
Neat. What are those this is missing persons report? What do we got there?
Brown hair, medium build, last seen in Rockport. Betty Jones, age 40, dark hair, blue. It doesn't say much. Yeah, so there's not a lot of information in there.
Rockport missing. Huh.
Yeah, and
A lot
they
of people
don't-
missing. This is a small town, isn't it?
Yeah. It seems
There's
like a lot of people have
missing.
gone missing in the area. Yeah, that's the thing to think about.
Well,
Sure.
if they've had an influx of tourists and painters, and they're having an influx of people going missing, and tourists are flocking out of the area because of the fog, I mean, how many of them actually left the city because of the fog, and how many of them were actually just...
Someone's got to report them missing if they haven't showed up. I think they might be from here, at least one of them. Housewife, husband, children.
Excuse me, we're missing the biggest headline in this. Blue law for women? Women can't appear on stage? What the hell is that about?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's definitely not,
That's huge, you guys. That's huge. What kind of town are we in?
Oh, I
Weird.
think that's national news, Livy.
But this is...
For Oklahoma.
Oh.
Women on stage in any form.
Oh,
Yeah, I
well,
think that's the Oklahoma law that they're
Here it
talking
is.
about there.
Gotcha.
Huh?
Yeah.
Those goddamn fascists.
Yeah. Yeah, way out in Oklahoma.
I mean, it's definitely, you know,
Definitely.
yeah, it's definitely something. I agree, Livy. It's not okay. Not okay.
Definitely
Or-
not
oh,
okay.
shit.
So,
President's
uh,
sick too. God dang it.
as you kind of
So-
look over this article, you have a couple things that you kind of came in knowing that you can investigate.
Yeah.
You know that the what you know as what's written as a bearskin necked, the little pier has a motif where a lot of artists conglomerate and paint. The bay and the lighthouses and all the stuff out there. You also that would probably help you find out where the hostel is as well, because that was on your list of things to find and investigate. And then you also have the matchbook for the memorial hall. So
Then we should start.
Maybe the bearskin neck? That's where apparently Betty Jones disappeared. That seems creepy enough to turn something up.
You got it. I'll follow your lead, Livy.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm just the pretty face, right? You guys do all the work.
Kind of
think
thought I
getting-
was always the face.
I was kidding. I'm the muscle. I'm obviously the muscle.
I think getting a lay of the land, as it were, to get our groundings would be a smart first move. This way we know where we're going, we know where to find things.
Sure.
Questions
Fair.
secondary at this point, anyways. If it happens,
Yeah.
it happens, but
are you all heading together or are you splitting up?
Probably split up a little bit.
yeah.
2 and
Okay.
2.
Okay.
I mean, to go where?
Some of us could go check out the matchbook place. What was that? The
Memorial hall?
Rockport Memorial Hall. Someone else could go check in with those painters.
Really, I think it might be better if you went to the memorial hall. You certainly look the part.
What's at the memorial hall? That's
It's usually veteran stuff,
oh,
if I'm
okay.
not mistaken.
Okay.
It's like a VFW before
It's a
VFW.
VFW. Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
And on that note, they could be quite the boys' club, so that may nix myself and Livy from
Alright,
going
what-
in.
I
So
think we go check out the memorial hall.
Sure. I mean, it sounded like you two had a lot to talk about anyway, yeah?
hopefully there won't be
Yes.
any listening ears as we go.
Well, look, if we don't see you back at this place by what? What do you want to say? 6?
And
I'm
for you.
looking.
I think
Alright.
that's fair. We should definitely get back before sundown.
Yeah. I could go for some roast crow, honestly.
No.
I'm fucking with you. But honestly, though, I do need food, so.
Yeah, we'll meet and get something to eat after.
Alright, good luck.
With
Same
that,
to you guys.
and with that, who's heading to the memorial? Rory
Yeah,
and
Billy and Rory.
Okay, so you guys are going to go ahead and walk there because it's just down the street. If you see the map, I went ahead and circled where the memorial hall is in red. And I will go ahead and show the audience that as well. They're currently staying at the C word. They'll be heading over here. As for the girls, they'll be taking the car, and for the women, they will be heading over to Bearskin Neck. As they pop into the car and rattle off down the road, Swingle and Rory, sorry, damn it, Billy and Rory, walk down the kind of side of the road and head to the memorial hall. They have a moment to kind of powwow before they get in there.
Rory, what I mean, I want to kind of whisper. What am I supposed to call you? What are you going by here?
Oh, you like fake name?
Yeah. How about little Petey?
Little Pete? Sure.
Yeah, Pete. Little Pete.
Yeah. You call me Little Pete.
Gotcha. You don't get it because you're not. You're. It seems like something that somebody might call you. Sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
I don't know. I'm a little tired, man. I gotta be real.
I like how down to earth you just got. I like that. Me too, bud. Me too.
Okay, so I guess we're shit. What
Yeah,
would
Little
I
Pete
ask?
and Ernest.
Little
On
Pete
the
and Ernest,
business.
yeah, I kind of like
Yeah.
that. Got a good ring to it. Sounds like one of my pulp magazines.
Yeah?
You ever read one of those?
No. What's that?
They're like little adventures, Some of them I think are have a little bit more truth to them that meets the eye. I'll lend you some.
Yeah, I'd like to read that. That sounds nice.
So,
Are we pretending that you are we're in the army or something, or?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, where did this matchbook come from again?
Oh shit.
Shit. Well,
I think we found it. I think we found it. Was it in the house?
Yeah. I think it was in the house, wasn't it? Yeah. So maybe we're just I don't know, we're just looking around. Maybe it was, we're following the art piece. Are we following the art piece? We could say we're here to, I don't know, hear some stories. I don't know. Maybe we can just get a beer.
If we can get a beer there, then let's get a goddamn drink there.
Yeah,
for sure.
let's just say that someone told us this is a good place to get a drink, and if it's not, then oh shit, we must have gotten turned around.
Yeah.
Love it.
For sure.
As you
I got a
kind
pack of cigarettes in my pocket, trying to make friends.
All right, let's go, little Pete.
as you kind of pat your back pocket and you stroll up to the red brick building, navy blue black back sign with gold lettering reads Rockport Memorial Hall. As you enter the hall, and I changed the sound because we're apparently still in the motel. There we go. You enter the hall, and you smell the aroma of coffee and cigarettes as you kind of waft about you. Scanning, you see several comfy looking chairs and couches are scattered about the hall. Paintings of men in uniform and battle scenes hang on the walls, and there's a soft pour in the back corner with a thin older man with an eye patch who serves a couple of patrons. He has a pipe in his teeth.
This will saunter on over.
Yeah, for sure.
As they kind of finish a bit of a conversation, something along the lines of there's a cop and a sailor kind of there talking, and the barkeep, for lack of a better word, kind of sits behind and kind of takes notice of you.
Oh, welcome. What can I do for you?
We'll take 2 of your finest ale.
Ginger? We don't, it's a clean place.
I see. Then a coffee's fine.
Yeah, understandable. He pours you a coffee. How do you like it?
Black is fine for me. And obviously I was joking. I know that shit's illegal. And I'll wink at him.
No, absolutely.
So
And
make that
Uncle
2,
Sam we
please.
trust, right? Oh yeah, absolutely. He kind of just pours over straight from the one cup to the other. And then it slides him over, kind of wiping him off a little bit. Just a dime.
Pretty good place you got here, sir.
Well, thank you. I curated myself.
Really? Around. So, must have lived here a long time then.
Yep. I lived here my whole life outside of the war.
Well, thank you for your service.
Oh no. Absolutely. What brings a couple of you strangers into town?
Well, little Petey and I are here on a grant for college.
Okay.
That's so weird. We're here on a grant. A couple artists, a visiting professor here, so we've got a couple students in the area.
Oh.
We heard this was a good place to grab a cup of coffee. Just got to town.
Gotcha. Well, feel free to take a load off. Find a seat anywhere that you like. It's been a little quiet these days, but it usually rampens up at night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Everybody is like in here occasionally. With the bars closed down, people still need to get away from their wives, if you know what I mean.
I do. Now, when you say this is a clean place, like, you don't serve here, but, is it, like, clean, or you guys just, clean?
I don't get your meaning, son.
I mean, you know, you saw alcohol in this place, so you calling the cops?
Look, I don't mind as long as you don't make a stink and you don't make a big fuss about it.
Alright. Heard. Message received. Thank you. I mean, I'm not saying I need to drink here. I'm just wondering. You said this place livens up at night. I didn't know what kind of lively.
Well, I mean, with nothing else to do, most people have picked up cigars. And occasionally they'll sneak in their booze and drink in the corners, but I
Sure.
tell them to
Not
be
everyone's
discreet.
playing chess and parcheesi here at 9 o'clock.
That's one way of putting it for sure.
Well, thank you very much.
Absolutely. If you need anything, my name is Scott Hall.
Yeah.
Scott Hall.
Yep.
Scott, pleasure to meet you.
Little Pete. And
Yeah.
he kind of points at
Professor Farnsworth.
Professor Farnsworth. Steel trap this one.
You got it.
And
Go and find a little seat.
as you kind of find a seat, I'll give you a moment to kind of like chat quietly before we kind
All
of.
seems pretty straightforward here. Not ringing any bells for me. How about you, man?
No, I'm not here. I mean, yeah, it looks pretty above board. I don't know. I'm not getting any anything
Yeah.
super obvious, you know.
Yeah.
But
Well, perhaps maybe if maybe there's a few more people, you could kind of gauge the vibe a little bit better. But so far, I think things seem pretty pretty normal.
As you kind of like walked over and we're chatting a little bit quietly, you sat down, and as you look at the table, you see in the center there's a matchbook, just like the one you had before.
Definitely the place.
As you look around, you just see that they're laid out, one on each table.
Yeah, what I will say is this seems to me like a really good place for people watching, you know? Good place to listen in on a conversation, something like that.
Maybe thinking maybe we come back here a little later tonight there, LP?
Something like that. Yeah. I mean, look, there's this sailor in the, the cop up there or whatever that might be able to clue us in a little more with what's going on in town.
The cop kind of like, kind of as you mentioned that and look over, you see that he just, you don't know what you're talking about, and he kind of puts down his cup. Thanks, Scott. I'll see you again. And he kind of stamps off and opens up the door with just a little bit too much authority. And exits.
I think I'm gonna follow him real quick. Pardon me, officer. Yeah, quick word, please.
As you kind of follow him out, he stops and is like, can I help you, sir?
Oh, howdy. I just wanted to check in. I read the newspaper recently. Saw some missing persons here. Relatively new to town, so I don't want to take up too much of your time here, but just leading a group of students. Want to make sure things are safe enough for them.
Yeah? Group of students, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that, some people go into the lake and they don't know how to swim, or they just, their parents freak out after, they left, A lot of people just left after the mist came in and stuff like that. And, it's a little out of season, but it's nothing too crazy. Don't understand the big fuss.
Sure appreciate that. And, sorry, officer,
Well-
what was your name?
My name's Officer Wild.
Officer Wild.
Sheriff Wild.
Sheriff, excuse me. Thank you, Sheriff. It's good to know that good folk like you are about keeping folk here safe.
And, your name, sir? He kind of
yeah,
offers a hand to shake.
Yeah, reach out my hand. Ernest Farnsworth. What did I say? Ernest
Farnsworth?
Farnsworth, yes.
Oh.
Ernest Farnsworth.
Farns, you seem to stumble on that a bit, sir. You okay? You haven't been drinking, have you?
We were up. No, sir, of course not. I believe that's illegal if I'm not mistaken, but late night of travel got me feeling a little weary. Pardon me.
Oh, fair enough. Come in on the train?
No. Drove into town.
Fair enough. Well, Mr. Farnsworth,
Yep.
you
Good day
have
to
yourself a lovely day, and make sure you look out for yourself.
Yeah, you got it, sir. Give him a little nod and head on back in.
Sounds good. Rory, you kind of had a minute. Did you want to just chill, or did you want to approach the sailor?
Is he still just sitting up there at the bar?
Yeah. He kind of
And he's
just...
smoking a pipe?
Yes.
Um,
Drinking another,
Is there-
like
is
that
there,
third
like, a-
cup of coffee.
yeah, is there anything on the wall beside him, like a painting or anything?
Yeah. There is a painting of a cavalry charge into a old, late 1800s line.
Yeah, I'll pull out a cigarette, walk up to that painting, and be like, "Is that here?"
What? No, that... He looks up. Well, I don't know. I think that's like Spanish-American War or something like that.
Oh. So they just keep it in the bar as sort of a remembrance? Is that the deal?
Well, they kind of just... I don't know about these guys. Yeah, they like to tell their war stories. Ain't that right, Scott? He just kind of nods silently.
You got any war stories, sailor?
He kind of looks at you, and I have stories, but not on a war.
I'll pull my cigarette. I'll take a drag on my cigarette. Be like, look, could use a good story. You got the time?
Well, none of my stories are really worth sharing, but I'll tell you a story about the Rockport if you're interested.
I'm here. When you're here, you know, do as the Romans do.
If you're not, Anyway. So, apparently back in the, 1700 Revolution, the British apparently shot an attack at the town at one point. We would turn off the lighthouses to make sure they'd crash into the coast and throw them off. Eventually, they did attack the town, and back then, they say that not all the cannonballs were just iron and fire, as it were. Something extra was in the mix, as it were. They say they would tear holes in the light. And, I don't know what that means, but allegedly one of the old cannonballs lodged itself in the old sloop in the main town.
No way.
Yeah, it's still up there apparently. No one ever could dislodge it, or it's just embedded in the stone up there. The father locks up the bell towers to make sure nobody fucks around with it. I think it's his claim to fame.
That seems like a pretty good tourist landmark, though.
Oh yeah. Used to be a real puller, but you know, in recent years things have kind of died ever since the quarry started to die down.
Yeah. You know, when major industry leaves town, it's really rough. I have some friends lived along, you know,
Yeah.
major rail lines. That's how it goes.
They can get the labor cheaper in another country apparently, so good American workers get put out of work, and you know, all the towns that crop up around them just go to dust.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but what's your name? mind me asking.
Well, they call me Little Pete.
Little Pete?
Yeah.
Doesn't. I guess
I
it's
think
ironic.
it's a joke. You know, yeah, I think it's a bit of irony.
Them fat boys.
But Pete's fine. You can call me Pete.
Okay. I think I'll call you Pete then. Yeah.
And you?
Mike, the GM, is looking for the name now and just failing
Sure.
miserably. So failing miserably. I have so many things on here.
You're
And
so
my
fine.
my dyslexia is just like going.
Ironically,
just like,
his name is Big Pete.
yeah.
His name's Big Pete. Yeah.
His name's
I was gonna say my name's Lil Pete Biggs,
Little Pete.
but I didn't do it.
That'd be great.
Give me 2 seconds. I have it.
You're fine.
Oh, Adam Alexander. There it is.
Adam Alexander. And Adam, are you from around here, or are you just sailing through?
I grew up here. Never really made it out, if you know what I mean. Love fishing. We work on the boats up at the wharf. Used to be a little harder to keep the artists from coming onto the docks, but you know, now that they've dwindled out a little bit, it makes it a little easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like you know some good stories, Pete.
Well,
Sorry, Alex. Adam. It seems like you know some good
Adam
stories,
Alexander.
Adam.
It's cool.
Adam Alexander.
Yes.
Adam, it seems like you know some good stories. I appreciate a good story.
Yeah.
You hang out here often?
It's the only place to get anything harder than water these days.
I like that. Yeah, well, look, we'll be around later. If I see you again, I'll happily buy you a, coffee, or, and I'll just, tap the side of my pouch and, you can, hear that there's something, metal inside there. Or I'll happily pour you something a little stronger.
I'll take you up on that. If you ever find yourself by the wharf, I'll be sure to hook you up with a discount for charter out to the lighthouses if you want to
I would love to see
Check
the
it out.
lighthouse. I'd love to.
Well, there's
Thank you.
3 of them, so you have your fill.
Really? There are 3 lighthouses in this town.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 1 in the south, and then 2 on the islands out on the bay.
We must have given the British a fucking run for their money back in the day.
Yeah.
Turning out 3 lighthouses along this shoreline.
Oh yeah. And you wouldn't you wouldn't imagine how many wrecked before they stopped sending things at night.
Think about that if you could dive down there, what you'd see. My
Right.
fucking god.
I can only imagine. I did hear that there was a whole naval fight, and they did sink something out there. back then.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. But that's just, I don't know how much truth is there.
Sure. Sure.
But, yeah, you take it easy, little Pete, and, I gotta get going. He kind of
All right.
finishes off his coffee, and,
Was he smoking a pipe?
he kind of taps it out.
Okay. Pipe smoking, you like that better than cigarettes?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You get the flavor of all
I
the...
might give that a try sometime. I feel like my tobacco's getting really dry these days.
Yeah, honestly, when you keep it in a nice leather pouch, he kind of pats his breast pocket. Stays nice and fresh.
I'll think about that. Take a long drag on my cigarette.
And he kind
Yeah, that
of
just
rounds
tastes-
on his heel and heads out. With that, let's go over to the girls as they roll up to Bearskin Necked. Or Neck. I don't know why I added a T to it. I just feel like it needs to be there. As I need... I was looking for things, and I closed things, and I can't close things without consequences. Here we go. Doo-doo-doo.
All good.
Here we go. We're outside. There are crows above, so I gotta get that going. There we go. As you pass through the dark square, and you kind of hit a small stretch of land before hitting the wharf beyond it. There's a couple buildings here, as well as roughly 3 or 4 people lined up with easels, kind of painting various depictions that they see of the landscapes. As you kind of exit the car and wander over, you kind of see that some paint the ships in the harbor, others the lighthouses on the horizon, while another paints a red barn. An older man kind of sits over to the corner and can't quite see what he's painting, but he has a couple different paintings laying on the ground already.
Wow.
Seems like most of them have already cleared out.
Yeah. Must not be the right lighting, I suppose, anymore.
Very well could be.
It's quite beautiful out here, though. What say we pretend we're scoping out the right spot and start talking to some of these folks?
So the people that are here, they're all pretty like they came in from out of town. Do they look? Can I decide defer?
They aren't holding crows, or I don't know. Like, how do you decipher if a person's from out of town? So
That's
I'll
fair,
describe them to you. There's
Yes.
a younger man who has light brown hair, and he looks a little bit more humble stock. He's got like a flannel shirt on. There's a woman, kind of a little older, with black hair, and she just wears a dress, kind of has set up an easel, and her painting is kind of a little bit rudimentary. She's doing her best. She's doing okay though. Her palette's just a little, when you don't pick your color palette and just everywhere with the colors, that's what's going on there. And then the last one is a older balding man, not quite Billy's age, but more Georgia maybe, a little older than Georgia. And he's the one with a couple different canvases on the ground, kind of face down.
think I'll take the younger brunette. This should be quick work.
Pick a easy name to remember.
Oh yeah. Yeah, of course. Of course.
As you kind of make your way over to them and split up, does Georgia head to a person as well, or does she hang back and just observe?
We'll kind of scope out the older gentleman. He seems to have been at this spot for a little bit.
Okay. Melly kind of Gene Poppenheimer.
That's a name if you needed it.
Oh God.
So yeah, you approach the young man. He's painting a realistic depiction of the bay, and he feathers in some boat reflections in the waves as you approach.
Hey there. Really nice painting you got.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. I'm getting better. I already had a knack for this, but this is kind of nice. Used to have some light, but, you know, a couple days ago. How are you doing?
Yeah, this smog. I'm doing great. I'm great. How about yourself?
He
How
kinda
long
like-
have you been?
He kind of like actually like looks over and like kind of just puts down his paintbrush and like, oh well, you know, I've just been here not even a week now. You know, been selling up the paintings to you know, old Craig O'Cassie. He's been you know, been helping me stay.
Craig Cassie? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whereabouts did you travel from?
Oh, I'm from a dairy farm down in Pennsylvania. Do you know where Reading is?
It's
the dairy capital of the world, like, honestly, of the East Coast. Like, there's so much, like, fields as far as the eye can see. And the smell, honestly, I miss it a little bit. The salt's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but that smell of the cow manure in the morning just gets you going, you know? I miss it.
So good. Wonderful. That is... Oh, I'd love to know so much more about that. Question.
Well, I'll absolutely tell you more.
Yeah, but just really quick, because I see that you're super excited, and I want to know more about the person you sell your art to. Who is that again?
Oh, Craig? He runs the old hostel. They sell the paintings out of the front, and helps the artists and whatever stay, you know, a little longer. Also, he helps us with meals and stuff. You know, I don't really always like what's in the stew, whatever. But you know, it fills us pretty well.
Gotcha. And you said you've only been here for a week.
Yeah, 5 days.
Interesting. Is it like crow's soup or something?
I certainly hope not. Actually, now that you mention it. Oh.
Yeah.
I might try to get some supper from some elsewhere. Anyway, what was your name? Did you mention? I'm sorry. I'm Howard.
Hi, Howard. Very, very nice to meet you. My name is Melia. Melia. My
Malia?
name is Melia, yes.
Oh.
Melia. Melia Marsen.
You would make my next step very awkward. I hate you so much right now.
Melia? Is that like? Is that, you know? What is that foreign? Is that?
Yeah,
What's that? What's the nationality of that? I'm just curious.
You know, it's French.
I apologize for
last name-
being ignorant.
No worries. You know those lovely farms out there. It's Malia de Marchand.
Oh, so it's like
Marchand.
a Italian, or is that like
More French, more French
oh
than Italian.
French?
Yeah,
right.
no worries, no worries. You
Oh,
know, that's
okay.
perfectly fine. That's
Oh,
fine.
well, I'd love to maybe meet up with you for dinner, maybe a little later,
Oh.
Uh,
if that's okay. Like, I'm obviously maybe or lunch. Maybe
What-
just a coffee. No, or nothing.
well,
It's no. Honestly, I gotta paint.
Howard.
I need to finish
yeah.
this.
Gotcha, Howard. Thank you
hey,
so
thank-
much.
th-
Thank
yeah,
you.
no, it was
and
lovely.
I hope you
Meeting.
enjoy those dairy farms when you do go back. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you, Howard.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely.
As you walk away, he's like, stupid. You
Oh.
went too far.
Howard, I'm
Too much,
sorry.
too soon. Too much, too soon. You always get too excited. And as Georgia heads over to Andrew, sorry, the old man. You kind of approach, and you see that the paintings lie kind of on the ground next to him. The one that's kind of still face up has large black strokes that kind of obscure each one, obscuring what was on the painting before. As you approach, his painting arms just violently and frantically scoring across the canvas, almost like he's trying to put a hole through it.
Can I make out what he's actively painting, or what, or what is on the behind the big black lines on the?
He's kind of
describe
faced
it?
towards you and just kind of zoned in. So you'd have to round around, but you can absolutely do that. As you kind of take a look, you see a black looming mass emerges from the sea between the two lighthouses in the bay.
It's a rather interesting painting there.
Yeah, can I help you?
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't meaning to disturb you. We're
Well, you did.
new in town. That I did.
You should, I don't like being watched. He kind of stops and kind of looks at you, kind of inconvenienced. Can I help you?
Terribly sorry. We're a little new. I was just kind of talking with some of the people around, getting an idea of like the painting locations and how long people have been here. Just curiosities. I don't mean to be a bother. I could go.
Yeah. Well, you've already interrupted me, so I might as well answer. I've been here for over a week. If there's as far as the other people, there were more people here before. Now there aren't. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just trying to get it out. And he kind of points at the painting.
Get it out of where?
Out of here. He points to his head. And taps his temple. Needs to get out of here.
What was your name? Melanie. Melanie Noct.
You can call me Mr. Green.
Mr. Green?
Is this going to take much longer? Are you doing like an interview for like a report or something? What
No,
are you
not
doing?
at all. I do more fiction. I'm just getting inspired.
Yeah, fiction.
I'll leave you to it. Maybe I'll see you around town. Maybe a cup of coffee sometime.
I got better things than coffee now, but that keep me up, thanks. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? You never know.
Hey, Mr. Green, I'll leave you to it. I'm sorry to have disturbed you.
Yep. He kind of rubs his eyes for a moment and kind of sneaks back. And you kind of, just before you turn out, you kind of see like
his head kind of nod, almost like he's trying to fight off sleep with just pure caffeine. In fact, as you kind of walk away, he uncorks a blue bottle, and kind of takes a draft out of it before continuing to paint. As you kind of go back and reflect with Livy, with Melly de Marchand. What happens?
So, Georgia, I didn't get much, learned a lot about farms, and I think I got asked out. I'm not quite, I'm still processing that part. Anything for you?
Interestingly enough, yes. The young man, how long has he been here?
A week. How about who you spoke to?
Yeah, about the same amount of time. He's a bit frantic. I don't think he's sleeping well. Insomnia must be gripping him. Something in his dreams. No, definitely I'm going to try to make a second round with him at some point. There's definitely something that he is not willing to talk about.
Anything maybe I could do to help? I'm really good with people, Georgia. Just, trust me. I mean, who are you?
And she'll kind of blush a little bit, a little sheepish in it, and it's upcoming pseudonym that I'm using, actually. Melanie Noct.
Oh, Melanie Noct. Okay. I am Melia de Marchand.
It's a wonder we get along. French, from pronunciation?
Yes.
Things are quite different in Europe, my dear. You'll be fine.
Yeah, gotcha. But about this guy, you said about the same time. Do you think maybe I could get through to him? Or, I mean, two ladies talking to one guy, who can resist, right?
With what he's going through, talking to him more now is not the way to go. Need to give him time, and I think maybe approaching him tomorrow or later tonight might be a better idea.
You sure he's gonna be here tomorrow? Look at that stack of paintings he's already done.
Some of those are voided, as it were. Dissatisfied with the product, what he was actively working on. And she'll kind of hop in the car and gesture for you to get in, pausing. And once they're both in, the doors are closed, she'll continue. The painting he was actively on was of the two lighthouses out on the water.
Mm-hmm.
There's a distinctive black figure that towers them.
I'm not following. What do you mean, a distinctive black figure, coming out of the water? Is it floating above?
She'll try to do a very quick, rough sketch of the painting that she saw. And kind of just with pencil and just shading it in very, very quickly and kind of showing it to her. I don't know the significance of it, but it's definitely not like the other paintings we were seeing. Definitely not a red barn or just the lighthouses. This is specific.
Yeah.
This is a lead that something is definitely wrong here, and we're on the right track.
I agree. I mean, Howard, it seemed like he was going to try to fit a cow in his painting. I would have watched him long enough. No, that's good. This is good. This is great information.
And as much as I hate to admit it, Howard may be more useful than you think.
Am I gonna have to go to breakfast with this Howard?
Or lunch, something. Honestly, look, he's eager to share with you.
Okay.
He's an inside. He could know what has been happening, who's been coming in and out. He might know your sister. He might be able to give us something that we can work off of from an inside perspective of just being a normal person. There's so few of them with kind of a straight mind, because I don't think Mr. Green is very well.
Gotcha.
He's going to need a gentle hand.
Okay. Damn it.
I know, I'm
right.
sorry.
Well-
I hate to ask it.
Okay, all right. Before we go, let me just go talk to Howard about tomorrow.
Make the date on your time. But be quick, we need to meet up with the boys.
Of course. We're losing light pretty quick. I'll be right back.
As you head back out and head over to Howard, he kind of just, as you approach, he hears the clip clop, and he kind of like of you coming over the boardwalk, and he just looks over. He's like, oh, and kind of and he goes back to painting.
Hey, Howard.
Oh, Malia, I didn't expect you to come back.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm sorry if I came on a little strong there.
No need to apologize.
It's not my place.
It's fine. I'm really shy. I can come across as really shy, so that was me. It's not you. So, Howard, I would love to hear more about Pennsylvania, the farms, the dairy farms, and the smell.
You do?
I'd love to. Yeah. Yes, I would.
Oh, wow. I mean, we can like maybe grab some lunch tomorrow or something. There's a little cafe down the road.
Yes, I would.
That's wonderful.
I would be so.
It's my treat of sort. Of course, they've been paying me real well for these. And he kind of points at the painting.
Wonderful. So I'll see you around lunchtime. About what time do you take lunch typically?
Oh, around like 11, 1 o'clock, 11, 12, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Is there any way you could pick me up at the hostel?
He needs a ride.
Pick you up.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
No, I can walk
Yeah.
if that's too much.
You could fix him, Livy. You could fix him.
Yeah.
I'll
This poor kid.
I'll pick you up, Howard. I will pick you up, and you can tell me about everything on the way there, and on the way back, and
This poor fucking guy.
while we're there, I am so excited, Howard. I'm so excited.
Oh well, let me show you where I'm at. He kind of
Yeah, wonderful.
pulls out a map out of his ass. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
I live right over here. It's right over by the log cabin on Norwood.
Okay.
It's not far away.
Cabin, okay. All right. So I'll pick you up tomorrow sometime. Just be ready by noon, and we'll.
Yeah, that'll be great. It'll be a wonderful time.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. All right, I gotta go, but tomorrow, Howard, I'll see you tomorrow.
Looking forward to it. Count the minutes.
I am counting every single one of them. I am counting, Howard. Okay, I'm heading now.
Back.
Thank you so much, Howard.
As the door
Scuttle
clamps,
back to the car.
the door the car door claps closed, and Georgia kind of rolls off. You kind of just side-eye each other and don't say anything. There's just a knowing look. As you kind of roll out and back towards the motel, as it were, you see on the sidewalk the kids from earlier creeping down kind of towards the pier a little bit. 3 of them hold slingshots in their hands, and the last hangs back at the wagon, now laden with something hidden, like a bundle of something hidden underneath a wool blanket. The kids level their slingshots, and with a series of thwips, and unleashes a barrage of stones at 3 crows perched on the building above. You hear the dull thwap, a squawk, and a wooden knock, as one plummets limply, one flutters frantically to the ground, and one flies and flees out of sight. The crow squawks, hopping and fluttering helplessly to get off the ground, its wings ruffled and broken. One kid drops his sling, mortified, as 2 others exclaim and run towards the injured bird. You kind of stop at the intersection next to this. You do anything?
She doesn't.
I think Livy would make eye contact with Georgia and just like, that's pretty effed up. Like, we should teach those kids to not do that?
Not denying that at all. However, we don't know whose kids they are.
The kid with the wagon pulls it closer to the group as you speak. He lifts the blanket and pulls a crimson spattered baseball bat out and hands it to the oldest looking kid.
What the?
Quite frankly, it's not why we're here.
He takes the bat and pats in his hands a few times as he approaches the cornered and broken bird.
Georgia, they're not gonna do... They're not...
The bat rises.
No need to watch. Yeah, George is just like deliberately like eyes forward.
And as the light turns green, you stroll off and you hear a dull thump behind you and a call of pain.
It just...
Yeah, even Georgia cringes at the sound.
You see them kind of take the limp bodies and toss them into the wagon before covering it again and rolling off down the sidewalk and out of sight.
Something is not right with those kids, Georgia.
Something's not right with this whole town.
And with that, we will end today's session.